as a first question, I would like to ask you, what is your role as a volunteer at Teach to Lead?
So basically, I work in content creation, and basically what we do is we normally get like content ideas, and then the team selects which one they would like to do, and then we are supposed to make content based on what we've chosen. For example, um, 5 tips for recording yourself in English. That's actually 5 tips of recording yourself confidently. That's one of the videos that I made. Um, so basically, you come up with ideas, for example, and then you film, edit, and then you submit it. And then those are basically uploaded to the pages for Teach to Lead.
And what do you enjoy more about your job, your work at Teach to Lead?
So I enjoy 2 things the most. First of all, I'd say editing, because I actually really enjoy editing. So being in a role that allows me to do more of that, it's it makes me really happy. And another thing that I really enjoy is interacting with my peers. I think Teach to Lead is quite unique because there are people from different parts of the world who are doing the same thing. And also, like, for example, in the groups that we have, when people are messaging, everyone is really friendly. You don't have to feel like this is something like you should be nervous about or interacting with people. You can just be yourself. And I think having a space to do that is really, really healthy. Yeah.
I think it's very good also because you are a volunteer in a NGO that has a social goal. So it's not just working; it has a bigger scope, a bigger goal. What do you think about it?
I think so because, you know, if it was just volunteering, maybe they wouldn't have us interact with each other. Maybe they just tell us, okay, they'll send you what task you should do and then you submit. But then here, it's very communication based. So for example, if you want to do something like you get to talk in the group, or if there's, for example, we recently had to fill a form about our experience and how we are finding it, any suggestions, like a feedback form. And I think the fact that our opinions are valued, it's also good because, it allows us to feel like, whatever you're doing, it matters more than just, for example, you were given a task to do. It matters more than that. You're part of a place that wants you to help it grow.
Yeah.
And I think just being in a space that also helps with our social skills is really good because the thing is, one thing about being from different parts of the world is you all learn how to interact differently. So when you're put in one space for you to now showcase whatever skills that you learned as you've grown up, for example, um, I think it calls for you to be authentic, like when you're talking to people that you've never met before in real life, for example, it can be intimidating. But there was a time that we had a call as a team. And I think when you get to hear people being authentic and being themselves, you realize this person is not very different from me, or
Yeah.
you see yourself in your peers, and that makes you feel kind of seen in a way because you are engaging with people who, again, because you are meeting in this similar or familiar place, um, you get to understand that we're all doing the same thing, meaning there's something about us that is similar because we all want to be a part of Teach to Lead.
Yeah.
So it's really cool because one thing I think I'm reminded of every single time I'm interacting is I'm just like them or they're just like me. And these people are a reflection of me. And so it makes me feel very familiar with them, even though we haven't been in the same country. I don't go to school with them or I don't see them every day. Yeah.
Let's talk about before you started. Like, what inspired you to become a volunteer and Teach to Lead?
The funny thing is, how I encountered Teach to Lead was very unexpected because I remember I couldn't sleep one night. And so I decided, let me just go on my phone because I was just like, okay, I can't sleep at all, no matter what. And then I started scrolling and then I just found it. And I was like, what's this? Like, I was curious. And then I just decided to have a look at the page. And, one thing about me is that I'm really passionate about helping my peers or helping in general. Like, I always want to find any opportunity I can to give back or to do something that will be taken as something that can change the world or help someone else. So when I found it, I started reading about it. And it was teaching, so I don't have teaching experience. So I just interacted with the page and then I realized like, there's a space for someone like me or something that I'm interested in. And this is something I'm skilled at. Like I know how to make videos and edit them and stuff like that. So when I found out about this opportunity, it was almost like it was meant for me
Yeah,
in a way, or like I was meant to find it because the way I found it was you'd never expect it. And like to decide, when we watch social media, you can interact with hundreds of videos, but you don't deeply interact. So the fact that I chose to interact with it and now I'm a part of something like this, it's like almost like it was, you
reason.
know, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the best things start like this.
100%.
And do you think about continuing after the volunteering experience in this field of the NGOs, or what do you think about the future?
I definitely want to stay connected with Teach to Lead specifically, because, this opportunity in particular has been a new chapter in my life because I started relatively recently, but not too recently. I've been a part of this for a while now, but I think it's so significant to me because it's exposed me to a world of giving back in any way possible, whether it's through tangible skills, stuff like that. And, you get to interact with people globally, you know? I think because it has contributed so much to how I perceive, for example, volunteering as a whole, it's definitely one thing that I do want to stay connected to in the future. And any experience that I can get, even in similar roles or similar organizations that have a cause that's so heartfelt, I think I definitely want to be a part of something like that.
Well, you have a very good energy, so I think that you are contributing and you will contribute in the future in this field. Do you have a last message to give? It can be related to the mission of Teach to Lead. It can be something else, something you want to tell to the people that will listen your words.
Hmm. I think, um, you know, an individual can struggle with feeling like what they do is meaningful or significant. And I might get emotional, but yeah, sometimes you may, for example, whether you're working on yourself, or working to help someone else, you can't see the bigger picture when you're doing something because as a human being sometimes you can feel so insignificant or so small, like I want to help, or you feel helpless, because you want to contribute, you want to give back, you want to make a change, and sometimes you don't feel like what you do is enough. I think it's really important for people to know that you may not understand it immediately you do something, but if you feel called to do something, then the best thing that you can do is take a chance. because you don't know what that will lead to. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know why you're doing it. But you should always know that there's nothing that you do that is a mistake. And whether or not you feel it, there's always someone else that's going to be touched, changed, or moved by what you're doing. And in the end, it'll always be a blessing to you. It's never a curse to try something new or to try to help, because as long as you have the intention of, I want to make a difference, you can change the world in any way that
Yeah.
means something to you. Yeah.
To change the world, you have to believe in it, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Maya, for your experience, for sharing your experience here, for all the things you are doing in Digital Leads, for your time.
Thank you so much.